Thanks very much, Laska Hirlock. And following on from the points that I made yesterday, I think I must mention that we see that the Taoiseach, the Taoiseach and the Minister of Health have apologised to Mary Fleming and her family for the lack of respect and dignity shown in assessing her medical card review. But the question must be asked, who is going to apologise to the countless people in all of our constituencies who aren't as high profile as that particular case, as I mentioned yesterday? We all are aware of an elderly or ill person in our area who has had to put up with an inordinate level of documentation and double checking and proving their illness. And I think at that stage in their lives they're entitled to a little bit more human dignity, and the state surely owes them that. And I would be again today calling for an amendment to the order of business that the Minister of Health would come to the House and discuss this issue, the 300 million overrun, which is double his prediction, though not double the one that I made here last February, and the fact that is a figment of his imagination, which is the success of the special delivery units in cutting waiting lists. I think the figures speak for themselves. Leader, 40% of an increase has taken place in people waiting over 3 months. 97.7% of an increase in those waiting more than 6 months, and a tenfold increase in those waiting more than 1 year. Much more worrying than that in itself is the fact that waiting lists for children have more than doubled. There are some 26,245 children this day waiting more than 3 months for surgery. That is fundamentally unacceptable. That is fundamentally unacceptable. I think we have seen again from the Minister, and it's not to be personal, but we must judge people on their performance. Abolish the HSE, put in my own board, put in an interim CEO, the buck stops with me, I am going to run this. Well, he has run it. Run it for 2 years now, and it's still the headless chicken approach. 300 million overrun, supposedly 666 million to be saved next year. From what? Frontline services that the CEOs of the main hospitals have told us that the service is creaking at the seams. When will common sense prevail? What is it that the Taoiseach is owed by Minister Riley, that he's not prepared to take action and put somebody different in who might have the confidence of the people and might show a little bit of competence in managing the 13 billion of the people's money where nobody knows where it's going, it overruns every year, and we're focusing on the Mary Flemings of the world in trying to gather up a few shillings while hospital CEOs all over the country are being topped up by charities' money. So there'll be an amendment to the order of business each day until we begin to see some clarity and progress on this issue, because frankly, 2.5 years in, this level of incompetence would not be tolerated by anybody. Not by a committee in a town, not by a council, and it certainly shouldn't be by a government and one department that has control of such a large amount of the people's tax dollars. Thank you.